Hello, I am the owner of this laboratory. Everyone calls me Professor Zhao. You can also call me Mr. Weird. I am now staying at my neighbor Jack's house while writing this post, while waiting for the police to arrive. I think I should have put this morning when I knocked on Jack's door. Word said, "Tell the police again if you don't move in the distance." I can't tell the whole truth. Tell them, because they wouldn't believe it. And of course, I don't know why I will tell you about this choice. But you may be the only people who will believe me. So, I had to talk about what I was going through. Otherwise, I'll go crazy. Let's briefly tell you about my family's situation first. My family's house, sitting on a rather large piece of land. To the left is an open space. Beyond the clearing is a piece covering an area of about 5,000 cubic meters of forest. My wife Michelle likes to call it Grove, our nearest neighbor. Jack's house is about 2 kilometers away from us. So this large area, it's pretty much just me and my wife. This is our little world, little Xanadu, beautiful and safe. Or rather, I used to think so. It's not safe here at all, right now. But it has been defiled, and I had no idea what to do. I've never encountered anything like this. If anyone who sees this post, someone has encountered a similar situation before. Know what that might be? Or can you tell me what to do? Please be sure to contact me. Last spring, my wife, Michelle, we installed a doorbell camera on the door of the house. Things in our yard, it will be lost or damaged for no reason. Of course, this only happens occasionally. It's not a big deal. Just a few flower pots were broken. A few lawn decorations are missing. I told Mr. Me, it might just be young people in town come to have some fun. There's no need to break into a surveillance camera. But he wouldn't listen. He doesn't really care about the pots or lawn decoration. He's just worried about this behavior. It could escalate to burglary or something. I think he's overreacting a bit, but I didn't object either. So we quickly bought the camera, and I had it on my door the same day. Let's install the camera. It's next to the porch light. This way, we can see from the surveillance footage. See the situation in front of the gate as much as possible. Many observed the lawn of Wuzik. 2 days later, we finally know. Why does the lawn decoration in the yard fail? And flew, of course, as you may have guessed. It was 2 raccoons. Look at them, carrying the solar lamp that my wife kept in the yard, and then running away on 2 legs. Yeah, that's pretty funny. They are like 2 thieves, running away with a blue light bulb. It's interesting, and the pattern on their faces, like a mask worn by a thief. Even my wife started laughing. I'm curious, why would they steal these things? Maybe to build their nests in the forest. After my wife finished watching, start feeding cat food regularly outside the door. Hey, the result is like this. The theft of these raccoons. It actually stopped. But we didn't remove the camera. It turns out we made the right decision. The rice noodles were on a business trip a few days ago. He should have come home before dinner tonight. But he phoned me to tell me the plane was delayed. You can't get home until 4 a.m. at the earliest. I comforted him on the phone by saying, I love him. Can't wait to meet him. And I hung up. Nothing happened last night. Unremarkable. I'll tidy up the room, so when the wife comes home, you won't notice that I messed up the beard. I made a bowl of soup for supper. Then I fed it to the cat at home. His name is Luna. Then I curled up on the couch with the cat. I'm watching TV, and the cat purred on my chest. I fell asleep around 2 a.m., but after just over an hour of sleep, I was woken up by the beep on my phone. It's a prompt from the surveillance camera. Cameras often sound alerts, especially late at night. Usually it's a small animal that triggers the alarm, like powerlessness or a raccoon or something. But I immediately grabbed my phone from the bedside. Look up, because I didn't hear my wife knocking on the door. So I didn't get up right away. I opened the monitoring app on my phone. Brings up the picture of the door. My wife, Michelle, is standing on the porch, staring blankly at the door, and I sat up, getting ready to open the door. But the next thing I was stunned. I saw Michelle's face smiling. That was no ordinary smile. It's a smile like I've never seen before. He's weird. The spread of lips cracked into a long smile, ripped the whole face wide. It's like showing off his teeth. He stood at the door for a long time. It's like a scary mannequin. After a while, his lips slowly pursed again. It's like the pucker of an angry child. He maintained this expression for a while. Then the lips dropped. He began to frown deeply again. I sat on the bed, watching my wife practice, study various facial expressions. It was as if he knew for the first time. The concept of expression is the same. This scene is not only strange, and it sends a chill down your spine. He slowly continued to switch expressions like this. Smile, mouth frown, and then he did it again. After staring blankly for 15 minutes, I finally recovered from my composure and confusion. I hit the live chat button. Honey, what the hell are you doing? And here's what I said. He suddenly looked up, eyes wide open for the camera. It's like it was the first time he knew there were cameras here. He had his mouth half open. The expression is somewhere between a smile and a frown. He didn't answer my question, just keep staring at the camera. The expression on his face has always been frozen in a disturbing state. I waited for a while. I don't know how to continue the conversation. And the longer I watched him, I bet, and the more he realized that something was wrong with him. At first, I just woke up, not fully awake yet. But now that I'm awake, I'm starting to wonder. Himself. I didn't notice this abnormality at first glance. And here's the obvious one. He looks a lot taller than usual. His normal height. Overhead. It should be just enough for us to hang at ordinary times. Festival banner pole. And that pole, I have to stand on tiptoe to barely touch it. That's not the only weird thing about him. His arms are very long, down to my knees. Even his face is a little off, although this face is indeed my wife's. I didn't see any problem at first, but when I looked closely, I found that his face seemed to narrow. It looks like it's been stretched vertically. The skin on my face looks very tight. It's like a shrunken holster. Tighten the bones under the skin. This moment, I started to panic. I don't know if he was in an accident. Or did you encounter any other problems? But I know. He must be wrong. You love him. Are you hurt? I asked in a trembling voice. You seem to be answering me. Stomped on the porch hard, then shook his head. Before I could say anything, and suddenly he reached out and grabbed us. "Shake your hands hard." I immediately started to panic. "I don't want him in the house right now. I won't let you in." I will reply to him immediately. Can't hear him shaking the handle like crazy. His face is still fixed on the camera. After a few minutes, he finally stopped. Then it made a sound similar to laughter. That laugh gives me goosebumps all over. "I'm home," that thing says. The sound that thing makes is just like his face. Same though, very similar to my wife, but you can still hear the difference. The sound gradually changed from a thick nasal sound to the spiteful, high-pitched speech of a baby with bone spurs. "I'm home." Opened the door. I almost turned off April. Called the police. But I'm still worried. Is my wife suffering from some kind of illness? "You don't want me to call you and say?" I asked. He shook his head again. The long hair was swaying from side to side in the back of his head. And this is what happens next. But I will never forget. My wife, Michelle, or the thing that was trying to disguise him. It stretched out in front of my eyes. His torso became slender and long. So much so that his head was pushed to the ceiling. His skin looks very tight. I could hear him pulling like rubber, shaking sound. He seemed to have a hard time keeping his feet up, but still barely maintained the balance. He wants to keep his mouth shut. He can't do it at all. His jaw came down to his chest. "I'm going to call the police," I shouted. Fear runs through me the moment I said that. His face immediately twisted, showing the purest hatred, so strong that I can feel it. He radiates through the screen. I've never seen one in my life. This level of hatred and anger. More villa. I saw it in my wife's face. He's on the porch. Get down the steps. Out onto the lawn. I looked at him calmly, arm bent at a disgusting angle. Climbed towards the clearing. He crawled to the edge of the clearing and disappeared into the tall grass. And I sat there, staring at the screen. I was so scared. I don't dare to look at it for a second. Move away from the monitor until an hour. For a full hour. When I stopped seeing that thing, I finally put down my phone with peace of mind. Ready for bed? I thought about it again. Call my wife. But I'm afraid of the other end of the phone. I also heard the imitation of the crumpled feet. After a while, I fell asleep because I was so nervous. But I didn't get much sleep. I was woken up by my phone again. This time it was an early warning from the camera. I opened the app. Hold your breath. Worried? Will you see any more terrifying sights? After jumping out of the screen, I recognized it right away. That's my wife at the door. I felt so relieved. He is standing on the porch. Put the suitcase at your feet. Hands rummaging through wallets for something. It should be his key. You lost the key. I pushed the talk button and said. He was startled to hear my voice. I almost dropped my wallet on the floor. How so? I seem to have lost the key again. Can you let me in? I couldn't help but laugh. It was actually a few hours ago. Kang witnessed a nightmarish scene, but the presence of my wife still relaxed me. Then I can't let you lay a floor at the door. Ting, I am your good husband. Who da went? He grinned at me. I told him to wait for me, and I went down to open the door. I sat up, and I put on my slippers, and I walked up. At this time, I suddenly saw something appear on my screen. Something strange. In a distant clearing, a head popped out of the grass, attached to a long neck, to the point where it's impossible to be human, and I whimpered. I almost dropped my phone on the floor. I stood there, can't take my eyes off that thing, and he's looking at my house. His head is wobbling slightly. Then the body slowly rises up. It's connected to the brain, like a torso that originally fell off. It slides back in place. In his previous life, he stood in the grass and watched. But then, the thing that scared me happened. That thing started dragging his dry legs. Run towards the house quickly. I couldn't stop screaming, although that thing is limping, but it was incredibly fast. He ran towards my wife. I can't think about it that much. I ran quickly to the corridor, but accidentally dropped the phone to the ground. I stride down the stairs. As I ran downstairs, the soles of the feet suddenly slipped. I rolled and crawled through the living room, hit the front door. I screamed incoherently, reaching out to unlock. I can hear it. The wife asked worriedly, outside the door, "Is something wrong?" Just as I was about to unbolt the door, I heard his screams. It's a scream out of pure fear. I yanked the bolt opened the door, then grabbed my wife, and they dragged him in, and he locked the door. I had my back against the door, panting heavily. I heard a muffled crash on the door frame, and then it went quiet. My wife is terrified. He was pale, almost cried. He wouldn't tell me what he saw outside. He doesn't want to check the surveillance footage with me. I let him sleep for a while and assured him that the house was safe. I didn't sleep. Instead, I checked the doors and windows of the house, then turned on the monitoring, checked the open space in front of the house, trying to look for signs of that thing, but I didn't see anything. After calming the wife to sleep, I decided to check the surveillance footage. I want to see if I can pass the video, analyze where that thing went. I don't think so. See that thing again? Maybe. That's why I put off watching the video until now. I turn on the video, watch that thing limp across the clearing, heading towards my house. He stretched out his long arm, a wistful expression on his face. The closer he gets, the smile on his face became more and more terrifying. In the screen, my wife heard my screams inside the house. He began to worry. Didn't notice that thing at all. Has come to him, less than a few meters behind, and I kept watching. Watched that thing get closer and closer. When he came to the porch, I heard myself trying to open the door, but just seconds before I opened the door, I saw that thing. He stretched out his long arm, and he grabbed my wife by the shoulder, kicked him off the porch. My wife just had time to let out a scream. Every time I see that thing, what did you do to my wife? When I saw him come to the porch, standing in front of the gate, his limbs began to resemble humans, become more human-like, just as I reached out to take his things. When pulling into the house, he grinned at the camera, pulled his lips to an incredible level. For a moment, I could hardly believe what I saw. It's like my brain can't accept this reality, as if I were standing in the hallway, trying to make sense of what I saw. What does that mean? I heard something behind me. I had the sound of footsteps coming towards me. I was terrified, and I started running. I dare not look back. I don't want to see that guy with my wife. Similar faces, with lanky limbs, Horrible stuff with sharp bones wrapped tightly in skin. I know that if I look back, my sanity would collapse, can never be restored. I sprinted out 5 times at the fastest speed in my life, run towards the road. I was too scared to even look back. I'm not sure. Just turn around. You will see that long arm. Bumped into me desperately. I ran to my neighbor's house. Knock on the door. I told him that someone had broken into my house. I don't know what else to tell him. He's not going to believe what I've been through. Jack and I held his rifle back in my house, and of course, it was empty. I also didn't find my wife, Cher's track, only on my lawn. Found a suspected drag mark all the way through the clearing. I don't have to watch the video, just know what's left behind. We scoured open spaces and forests, except for a few strands. Should belong outside my wife's hair. We didn't find anything. Those strands of hair hanging from a high tree branch. It's hard for ordinary people to climb up. Jack said those hairs. It must have been picked up by some bird to build a nest, I guess. He probably didn't notice the blood on the tree trunk. We finally made it back to Jack's house, and he called the cops. He said there was no other way. I agree, but I do. It didn't help when the police came. Cher is dead. I just hope he wasn't tortured for not saving his wife. Didn't even recognize that the thing wasn't my wife, child, and see deep guilt. The weight of guilt makes it hard for me to breathe. I deleted all the surveillance video. I can't face those videos anymore. I think if I see those images again, I would go crazy. And finally, the police are here. They finally searched the whole hunt. I have to accompany them through the process. Take a statement. Otherwise, I'm going to spend the rest of my life in a small cell. But then, I had a thought. That's not such a bad idea, if you have the same experience. If you knew when that thing came back, what to do, please tell me. I'm sure he will come again. God knows who he'll be disguised as then. And, since we came back from the woods, Jack has been acting a little unnatural, although this may be due to my excessive sadness, illusion, but I feel Jack's skin looks like it's broken. Some are too tight.